I'm Tony Schumacher, and this is WFO.
WFO Radio here with a two-time Cup Series champion, Tony Stewart, who is looking for that third championship heading into the chase. Tony, welcome back to South Florida.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Good place for you. You've had some great success. This year, the way the chase has developed, it seems there's animosity, there's anger. NASCAR's Have At It Boys rule that they came up with seems to really be elevating the tension heading into the chase. We've reset the points. You guys are in. What is your outlook?
I'm excited about it. I mean, we haven't had the year that we've wanted by any means, but to have a bad year and still make the chase, I mean, it shows that we've persevered to this point. So the last couple of weeks we've been pretty consistent with top tens now, and that's what it's going to take to win this thing. You're going to have top tens and top fives to nail this thing down. But we're hoping that we're starting to get things turned around here, and we're kind of looked at as the underdogs, I think, right now. So we've got nowhere to look but up.
You've had a couple of great runs back-to-back. That Atlanta run was unbelievable. We didn't get to see much of it because Jeff and Jimmy were battling at the front, but at the end of that race, there were 12 Cup championships in the top four positions. The cream seems to really be rising to the top. As you enter the chase, team seems to be running better. Tell me about the psychological aspect of that points reset. You are right there all of a sudden, and everything that has happened to this point, it's in the rearview mirror. You've gained hundreds of points. Well, not anymore with the new point system, but a lot of points.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely gives guys that have had a couple bad races and were 6th through 12th in the points going into the chase. And in the old system, you would be mathematically you wouldn't be mathematically out of it, but it would be virtually impossible to gain all those points back and get yourself in a position to win. So having the reset in the points, it gives those guys in the back half of the chase that opportunity that if they've got their program turned around to make that run now. So it keeps the guys honest in the front of the field too. They can't just rely on what they did those first 26 weeks that got them in the chase. They have to still perform those last 10.
The new system that they've introduced this year, where it's basically a point per position, now that we've seen it play out mostly, I mean, I have an issue. Paul Menard, we saw him spin out at the end of the race because he was a junk car out on the racetrack trying to get those, what I'm calling junk points, and they make such a big difference. 5 points at the tail end of the field is just like 5 at the front of the field. What is your opinion of the way the system has worked so far as we've seen it?
I never really worry about it too much. I guess the way I look at it is as long as I know what the system is going into the year, then we know what we have to do to get ourselves in. And, I don't really worry about the other half of the field. And, you still, in Paul's situation there, I mean, there's still his fans that are up wanting to see him on the racetrack and his sponsors that need him on the racetrack. So, versus having him drop out because his car is bad, you still gotta. It still shows that everybody through the field is still fighting for the same thing, and they're still fighting for a point per position, and it keeps, it makes everybody still work hard the whole race versus just riding around.
For years, we heard that owner-drivers were kind of like a thing of the past. They went the way of the dinosaur, Ricky Rudd. And then you come back with this deal. I know you've got good people in good places and enable you to focus on the car. But now that you're in it, living it, is it more than you expected it would be at the time that you agreed to jump in as an owner?
No, it's not more than I thought it would be, but it's definitely, I knew it was going to be a challenge, but I've kind of been one of those guys. I've always liked a new challenge. I've always liked something different, and you wouldn't do it if you didn't have good people in the right positions, because it's not something that is done easily by any means. It's it takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication and a lot of good people that have to help you along with it. So it's definitely a lot of work. There's definitely a lot of sleepless nights that go along with it. But when you have a good day and when you have a weekend like what Ryan and I had at Loudon this year, that's the kind of weekend that makes it all worthwhile.
Speaking of new challenges, I spoke with you a year ago at the U.S. Nationals, and you said you had 2 cars on your bucket list to drive, a Formula One car and a Top Fuel dragster. We've got Darrell Gwynn sitting over here as well. You've driven the Formula One car. First of all, that was one of the most entertaining programs I've seen when you and Lewis swapped the cars. Give me your impressions of the Formula One car. Was it all that you had thought it was going to be?
It was awesome. It was, it brought back memories of when I was running in the IRL, obviously, but I never got a chance to run road courses when I ran IRL full time. So, being able to get in an F1 car like that and just see how agile it was. And the thing that impressed me the most was the braking. I never did find how far down in the corner I could go and actually use 100% of the braking and get turned and go the next direction. So it was fun. It was definitely something that was an opportunity of a lifetime. And like you say, we got one left on there, and that's the Top Fuel car. And getting rained down at Atlanta, we had Monday off, and I ended up getting to go to Indy to watch the finals. And Don Schumacher talked to me about going and doing a test again. So I would say we've got plans to get that last check mark on the bucket list for sure.
The NHRA drag racing fans definitely want to see out that and get it done. It would be very exciting. Final thoughts on the chase, in that we've seen the elevation of a lot of different stories. Kurt ripped up a sheet of paper yesterday. I don't know if you saw that in the post-race press conference. And it seems like there's a little more at each other's throats. You've got a viral video going on from a press conference around your trailer, basically requesting creativity in questioning. And you're traveling track to track, talking to media member after media member, and you're getting hit with the same question. The pressure, the pressure, the pressure, the pressure. Obviously, everyone wants you to say, I'm collapsing under the pressure, it's terrible pressure. But I think it's important that the media knows how to ask questions, because they relay the sport to new fans. New fans turn on the media to learn what this sport is all about. Is there a better way? I mean, obviously, there's got to be a better way. But in your thoughts, what is the best way for the media to relay the real stories of what's going on, as opposed to the, hey, Tony, are you feeling the pressure? Are you going to melt? And then you're going to say no.
Well, I think the biggest thing with us is we were dealing with the same people that we had dealt with for 8 straight weeks, and that are the people that follow the sport weekly. So, it's not so much the question they ask; it's how they ask it, and it's knowing. When you've been in this sport as long as I have, you start reading how they ask questions and knowing what angle they're looking for in the way that they ask the question. So there's a lot more to it than what the fans pick up on that side of it. But when you're dealing with people that you don't deal with weekly and they ask the same question, it's because they're not there every week, so you understand that. But when you've got the same group of people there every week asking the same question, there's a lot more talent in the media center than what gets shown, and a lot of times it's a producer that baits that question. But the fans are smart. The fans deserve better media coverage than what they get at times. So there's a lot of good stories out there every week, and asking the same question 8 weeks in a row from what's supposed to be the leading media in all of sports, that was a little disappointing.
Tony, thank you for taking the time. Best of luck in the chase. It's going to be very exciting now. Real quick, are you aware that the last time Homestead Miami Speedway brought a Sprint Cup driver down to go-kart race, that they were soundly defeated by me?
I did not know.
It was Matt Kenseth.
I did not know that. So
I have a witness.
I'm a little nervous just being in your presence right now because of that.
You're not the only one. Now, Tony, thanks a lot. Seriously, appreciate it. Best of luck in the chase. Great stuff.
Thanks, man.